Hello, this is Eric of Not BIOS Tech and Reviews, and I'm here to show you how to use the BIOS Flash button / BIOS Flashback button. Whether you're Intel, AMD, B550, B650, the procedure's all the same. Now the difference will be on which port you use and how that port is labeled. So if I go to an older motherboard with the BIOS Flash button, I'll show you in the computer here what it's going to look like. An older motherboard will probably have the BIOS Flash port labeled in white like that. That's the one you're going to use for updating your BIOS. But before we update, why might you use a BIOS Flash button? Why not just go through Windows or the BIOS itself? Well, the BIOS Flash button works to restore a corrupted BIOS. So if you corrupt your BIOS, you can still do it. What if you don't have the right BIOS for the CPU you have and there's a newer update? Flash button restores that. You don't even have to have the right CPU in the system. You might even not need a CPU at all. It just updates the BIOS. Great feature to have, and I personally would not go without the feature. Now let's show you each step. Right now I'm getting the BIOS update for my particular motherboard, which is the B650i Edge Wi-Fi. I now have this BIOS downloaded. So I'm now going to extract these files right here in my particular situation. Send where you want to, just as long as you can find it. Here we have a text file. This is not going to be useful for us whatsoever. We can delete that. Now this is the BIOS file, but this will not work with BIOS Flashback. We have to get rid of this entire thing, including the .130. Now what we need to do is rename this to MSI .rom. And it's going to say, if you need to change the file extension, the file might become unusable. Are you sure you want to change it? Yes, we do. Now what we need to do is get a thumb drive, a flash drive, to copy the file to. So I'll do that right now. Here I have a USB thumb drive. It doesn't have to be empty at all of files. We just have to copy that file to it. Now let's do that step. I now inserted my drive and we can see all these files. That doesn't matter. So we are going to take the one we made to MSI.rom and send it to our thumb drive, which in my case is a Lexar Drive H. In my particular situation, yours is not likely going to be that drive letter. Find where your thumb storage drive is in your computer and copy it there. We can see the file copy right here. Now let's get to our computer, the back of the port, and show you what the steps are. So our first step is to shut down our computer. Next, we have to get our USB thumb drive to our I/O on our motherboard. We have to find the correct one that allows BIOS flashing. It's actually labeled on the USB port. Right here. This is where my BIOS flash is, and that's where I put my thumb drive. So if we could see that label, that's how we know. Next, I press that BIOS flash button. And it will take a very long time to update. And while it's updating, the computer will turn on, just like so. You can see the RGB on the one side right there. And once the updating is finished, the computer will turn back off. And then we'll go back on again and cycle through the BIOS. And that is how you update your BIOS with the flash button. If you're not already, don't forget to subscribe to Not BIOS Tech and Reviews and help this channel grow. This channel is about tech, computer stuff, troubleshooting, so have yourselves a look around. Now, when it comes to updating, this process will take about 10 minutes or so have some patience. When the power goes out, not a problem. We can restart right from the start. No problems about the BIOS being corrupted. And that's the excellent feature about this. And we can also downdate the BIOS or update. So freedom is a wonderful thing to have with this option. This is Eric of Bios Tech and Reviews. Thanks for watching and have yourselves a most wonderful day.